Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my speculation video on the most recent Cars 3 trailer. It was awesome. It debuted on ESPN TV on January 9th during the Clemson-Alabama game and also dropped on Pixar's YouTube channel around the same time. And now a lot of you guys want me to do this video. I got comments every day after the trailer asking me to do it, so here it is for you guys. I hope you enjoy. So let's dig right into it and break it down. So of course, they showed the entire November teaser first. If you want to see my review and breakdown of that, the link will be in the description below. Now, I'm not going to go through each frame of the trailer and say what's happening because I'm sure you guys can see it. And if there's nothing else to say for the scene, no point in really mentioning it. So I don't think I need to say, oh, there goes Jackson Storm, so hopefully you guys can understand that. So it starts off with an aerial shot of the Motor Speedway of the South. This was actually the racetrack from the beginning of Cars 1, so that's really cool. On the tower screen, you can just barely see Jackson Storm leading the race with Lightning McQueen coming up from behind. Now there's a voice over this saying, "You will never be the racer you once were, accept it." This is not Jackson Storm. I'm pretty sure it's a new character called Smokey, an older orange pickup truck. I did a video on him a couple months ago, so the link for that will be in the description if you want to learn more. I'll also talk about him a lot in my Doc Hudson flashback video coming out pretty soon. I'm almost done making it, and he will most likely fix McQueen and help him recover from the crash. I may be wrong though, it just seems like it'd be him, kind of the wiser character with that personality in this movie. Kind of the Doc Hudson of Cars 3. So that flashes to the Grand Ole Raceway finish line. We saw this in a previous teaser. Now this is the last lap because we see the flag waver waving a checkered flag. It shows at least 3 or 4, possibly 5 race cars in front of McQueen. So that's gotta be a pretty bad loss for McQueen. Then we see McQueen hit the pavement after flying up into the air after the crash. This crash looks to be absolutely terrible because not only does McQueen hit the wall, he then flies up, comes back down, hits the pavement, and goes into an intense roll. But I did like how they used music in the scene to really just make that scene just really emotional and more impactful to us viewers. So that was a great job by the editors. Next we see Mac driving over a bridge. Nice to see Mac back in action. Hopefully he has a bigger role than he did in Cars 2, because of course in Cars 2, McQueen went race to race by plane and didn't need Mac. Since Cars 3 will only be in America and not Tokyo and Italy and then London, I'm sure Mac will have a bigger role. At least I really hope so because I really like the character of Mac. Then we see a shot of Mac from the back. He has new designs that are different from the ones in Cars 1 and Cars 2, so that's great to see. It really makes sense for the general evolution of all the movies. Mac drives over another bridge and then through the desert with some cool car statues around made from rock formations. Don't really know who exactly they are, but maybe some sort of the founding fathers. I don't really know, but I assume he's heading back to Radiator Springs because it really looks like that environment with the desert and everything, but maybe he's going to a race because obviously we don't really know of any of these statues being around Radiator Springs, but it definitely looks to be the same desert, at least very, very similar to it. So moving along, there's a TV or radio announcer who says, "Will Lightning McQueen retire?" In which McQueen replies by turning off the TV or radio and says, "I decide when I'm done," which was epic to hear. I'm glad that McQueen doesn't seem too discouraged from racing, at least not at this point in the movie, because I originally thought that he would consider retirement after the crash, but after hearing him say that, absolutely not. He is ready to take on Jackson Storm full force. So also inside the Mac trailer, we see graphics of Willie's Butte, which is where Doc Hudson and Lightning McQueen practiced in Radiator Springs. And on the right side of the trailer, you can just barely spot a picture of Sally, who of course is McQueen's girlfriend, or maybe wife at this time in the timeline, which was really cool to see. So they definitely will still have a relationship going in this movie, because I know it was kind of questionable before we saw that picture of her in the trailer, and some of you may have actually missed it because it is extremely tiny. I just barely saw it, and I got some confirmation from some other people who saw it as well. Then we see the Motor Speedway of the South finish line. There's a Piston Cup stage toward the back left, which was from Cars 1. It's where Chick Hicks, the King, and McQueen went on when the three-way tie was announced. And thanks to Collection TV for finding that. He's great at spotting little details in these trailers. I am decent, but definitely not as good as he is. There's a new flag waver who's a white and blue pickup truck, different from the one in Cars 1 and in Cars 2. Actually, in Cars 2, there were 3 different flag wavers. In Cars 1, of course, we had Dexter Hoover, who was a blue and yellow pickup truck. In Cars 2, for the London race, there was an Austin Mini Cooper as the flag waver. In Italy, it was a Fiat. And in Tokyo, it was Eric Langley, who was a Honda. Eric was actually the only one to get a name. So as you can tell, there's a wide range of flag wavers that we've seen in the movies, so it's always cool to get another new one. So next we see Jackson Storm in some sort of training facility. He's on a treadmill and there are scientist pitties in the background. I guess they're observing him, making sure he's performing to the best of his ability. And there's also a female voice in the background who says that Jackson Storm is basically part of the new generation of high-tech racers. We don't know who she exactly is as a character yet, but she may not even be important to the plot, just someone in there to explain what Jackson exactly is and how tough it'll be for McQueen to beat him. Then there's a cool shot of him practicing on a virtual reality track. This really exemplifies the fact of how advanced Jackson really is. McQueen trains on the dirt in Radiator Springs around Willie's Butte, I would assume for at least some of the time he practices, and Jackson uses virtual reality races to train. The virtual reality would definitely be more effective, and that was actually really cool to see because it just shows how new the technology is, because even us, as humans, we're just kind of experimenting with virtual reality like the Oculus Rift and stuff like that. Now, these scientist pitties seem a bit suspicious. Could they be manipulating Jackson to do what they want? Maybe they're giving Jackson an illegal form of liquid adrenaline to make money off of his wins, and maybe they just don't like McQueen and that's why they're doing it. Who knows? Jackson could possibly be in on the deal as well. Maybe when we see some more footage, but right now, I'm not entirely convinced. So then we see Jackson racing. There's a B&L logo toward the right on the side of the track, which is by and large. That was a company that had a pretty big part in the Disney Pixar movie WALL-E, so that's a really cool Easter egg for sure, but I'm surprised that they already revealed it to us in just a trailer. Maybe it was a mistake that somehow got overlooked, but big companies like Disney and Pixar, they don't tend to make mistakes that easily, so I guess it was intentional, so that's pretty cool. Then we get another shot of a different raceway. This one is Rust Belt Raceway, and Jackson looks to win again. Unfortunately, not a big surprise after seeing him win so much, especially in this trailer. I really want to see McQueen win big at the end of the movie, and I actually think it will happen, so let's hope, guys. I really want to see McQueen win because, like I've said before, McQueen has not won that much from what we've seen. I mean, think about it. Cars 1, nope. Cars 2, Por la Corsa, that's it. And yeah, kind of surprising there if you actually think about it. But getting back to the trailer here, on the side of the track, there's a Frostar Air Filters advertisement. This could be the company that sponsors the number 31 racer from the November teaser. Definitely a similar look on both the banner and the racer. Then it flashes to Jackson seeming to win the Copper Canyon race. So this trailer definitely skips around from race to race. We had the Motor Speedway of the South, Grandel, Rust Belt, Copper Canyon, and later on in the trailer, we'll see the Thunder Hollow Speedway at the Derby race, and of course the Los Angeles International Speedway as well. So that's an awesome amount of racetracks. I cannot wait to see them all in the movie. So in the background, you can see a bunch of race fans. Some are rooting for Lightning McQueen, Tanko, number 64, which is RPM, Little Turkey Pistons, Mood Springs, etc. But wait a second here. Where are all the Jackson Storm fans? No way! I cannot believe this, guys. I myself and a bunch of people that I know as well have not been able to find any Jackson Storm / Igniter fans in the race stands, and we get a perfect glimpse at a herd of fans there in the stands. So out of those stands, how is it possible that there aren't any Jackson Storm fans? It doesn't make much sense to me. If this is how it actually plays out, it'd be kind of a little bit disappointing because there definitely should be a Jackson Storm fan in there. I guess maybe if the way of showing your support for Jackson Storm is to just not have anything on you, but I really doubt that. Or maybe they haven't finished editing that part into the movie. I really have no idea, but let me know what you guys think down below. Maybe you have seen a Jackson Storm fan, but actually don't think any appeared, so it doesn't make much sense right now, but maybe, once we get more footage, it will. So an announcer then states that Copper Canyon was the third win for the rookie sensation, obviously referring to Jackson Storm. Then Jackson drives onto a stage, taking pictures, so there you go, a bunch of cool new reporters, and we can see a cool Dynaco 400 banner to the left, which is pretty much another term for the racing season, the Piston Cup, Dynaco 400. They all go hand in hand there, and poor Lightning McQueen is just watching from a distance. Then the same guy from the beginning of the trailer comes on and says, "You'll never be as fast, but you can be smarter." Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is probably a new character called Smokey, and now when I hear this, I think of Tom Cruise. Now we don't know the actor who's actually saying this, but I think it could be Tom Cruise. Now I'm probably wrong because at the beginning, the first line they had doesn't sound much like Tom Cruise, but this, it gave me a little thought of him, so maybe it is, maybe Tom Cruise is putting on a bit of an accent, but it's probably not, just my thought. I'm putting it out there, so if I'm right, then you guys can always come back here and say, wow, RC Cars 5, how'd you know that? But it might be, might not be, and it probably is not. So next we see McQueen and Cruz Ramirez enter what looks to be an abandoned building. Kind of looks like a barn, but then we see that it's actually the abandoned piston car racetrack called Thomasville. So another racetrack to add to the list there. And now McQueen's design in this scene is stunning. I love it. It's red and gold and definitely seems to be the training design, I guess you can call it. McQueen also had this paint job when he was inside Mac at the beginning of the trailer, and it's really different from anything we've seen before on McQueen, so that's awesome. And Cruz Ramirez gets her first line. She says, "You need my help, Mr. McQueen." I like how she says Mr. because it shows that she respects McQueen, and I think that's really cool, whereas Jackson Storm, nope. He does not have any respect for McQueen at all. At least from what we've seen before, he does not respect McQueen at all. Now, when we see the entire abandoned track, for more of an aerial view, there's a piston cup, Gasprin, and something oil sign. Gasprin was a racer from Cars 1, so that's cool to see another little Easter egg in there, but we're still unsure if a Gasprin racer will actually appear in Cars 3. And it says Thomasville Speedway at the top of the stands there. So maybe this is where Doc Hudson crashed. It really could be, and I really do believe it is. He definitely raced at this track though, regardless of whether or not he crashed here. And I know that because in the Mattel toy line, there will be a Thomasville playset that comes with a plastic Doc Hudson. So trust me guys, Doc will have some sort of part in Cars 3. Whether it's through a flashback or maybe, it's just memory, but I'm pretty sure, why else would a toy of Doc be included in a playset if he doesn't actually appear in the movie? Because of course, the kids will have to see that, so they want to buy that and play with Doc. Otherwise, the kids would have to go back and watch Cars 1 to see Doc. So, I am so confident that there will be a Doc Hudson flashback where we either see him race, we see him with Smokey, and we could see him crash as well. I'm going to talk about this a lot more in my actual Doc Hudson flashback video, but guys, I'm almost 100% sure that this is where it's going to get real good here with Doc Hudson, because I know there's some people out there who really like Doc Hudson and Hudson's, themselves, and I'm one of those people, so I'm really excited for this. So now, from here out in the trailer, there are just a bunch of really quick racing scenes, so not much to talk about. And really in general, this trailer did not give us much to speculate on further from what we already knew, but McQueen revs his engine. You can see that he has the training paint job on in the scene. Now here's the best part of the trailer, at least in my opinion. McQueen says, "I'm coming for you, Storm." Oh man, McQueen is determined to win. He's not going down without a fight. I really like that mentality. It's actually pretty much the exact opposite of what I originally thought. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I thought McQueen would want to retire until, like Cruz Ramirez convinced him not to. But no, it seems like McQueen on his own is already ready to take down Jackson Storm. No questions asked. So that is awesome. We see McQueen race by a four-wheel drive racer number 54, which was a sponsor in Cars 1. And all while this is happening, text flashes on the screen saying it's not over until lightning strikes. Oh man, that is awesome. I don't think the movies ever got this, epic with McQueen just being such a great racer. So, that is awesome. And that was just, a great part, at least for me personally. Now we get a better shot of when McQueen hits the pavement, which is cool, yet devastating at the same time. McQueen pulls away from the pits before Jackson does. Jackson was still at the pits there, so I guess McQueen got a little lead there. And then we're at the Thunder Hollow Speedway, where McQueen is racing in some sort of derby. He's extremely muddy, and for some reason is bearing the number 15. I talked about this in my sneak peek speculation video last week, or 2 weeks ago or something like that, but link for that is in the description below if you want to learn more. And I basically say that I think McQueen adopts the number 15 just temporarily for the derby race at the Thunder Hollow Speedway. So then we see lots of fire from the derby race, tires lying all over, and this is the scene I just don't understand. I really wonder how this will fit into the movie. It looks cool, just a little strange. Now this is probably where Miss Fritter, the monster school bus, appears, and then after that we just get more racing scenes, which are always cool to see. And then next we see McQueen drive up to a number 95 statue in a somewhat modern looking building with a bunch of fans just cheering, "Lightning! Lightning! Lightning!" And there's a kid who just totally exaggerates it and screams his name. It's hilarious. So that just proves right there that the movie won't be entirely dark. There's your humor right there. The first humor that we've really seen in it, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty much the first humor. And sorry for my poor impression of the lightning cheering. My parents are sleeping, so I don't really want to wake them up by actually screaming lightning. But that's the trailer for you guys. We've seen quite a bit of this footage before. One, in the sneak peek that I uploaded on New Year's Eve, and two, some was in the Detroit Auto Show sneak peek that we aren't supposed to talk about. But it's still amazing to see the first, I guess you could say, official trailer for Cars 3. In November, we got the teaser trailer. Last week, we got the character showcases, which they're not anything more than character showcases. They're not a teaser trailer or anything like that. This is the teaser trailer, and the Detroit Auto Show sneak peek stands on its own off from all this stuff that's available to the public, because of course the Detroit Auto Show sneak peek was only meant for the attendees of the auto show on that day. So I'm kind of disappointed that got leaked to the internet because, whatever. I'm not going to get into this discussion, but for all those who asked me, yes, I've seen it, but was I supposed to see it? No, I did not attend the auto show, so I was not supposed to see it. But getting off from that, I'm almost done with my Doc Hudson flashback video, so that will be an entire video of me just speculating on stuff. But in this trailer, we just didn't get too much. Now, the number 95 statue could be in McQueen's headquarters in Radiator Springs. The chanting was probably edited over that scene because I doubt the chanting was actually there with the number 95 statue. Now, this is probably the last Cars 3 footage we'll see for a while. So savor it, definitely savor it. My guess for the next trailer is sometime around late February or early March. So that's all for this speculation video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate all of your support and kind words in the comments. Of course, let me know down below what you thought of the trailer and what you think might happen in Cars 3. I love discussing predictions and all that great stuff with you guys. So leave what you guys think down in the comments below. So I'll see you guys next time for another video. Hopefully it's the Doc Hudson flashback video, but I might do something before that. But it's definitely coming really soon. So I'll see you guys then. Hopefully you enjoy, and bye now.